What up, folks? I'm ultrazillatoys, and today I have a review of the SHMA Jet Jaguar. I was about to say Godzilla. 1973 in this totally awesome 70s psychedelic box. This is real nice. I do like this box a lot. I really like how the Jet Jaguar is kind of translucent here, and you see the background through it. Very, very nice. I got my box art nerd glasses on right now. I do like it. Black and white here, not so bad. I'm not sure about that choice, but you know, whatevs. I do really like the resolution on this particular Jet Jaguar. I know I'm going really into this right now, but I do. You know, I do some of this stuff, so I dabble, and I do like it, how it's laid out. It's pretty cool. Not a bad looking box, and you know, in a sea of MONSTERARTS boxes, it kind of looks the same. This one looks pretty cool. This was a web shop exclusive in Japan, but I did get mine through Hobby Genki, who do get exclusives. It's a little bit more than, say, getting it through Zen Market, but it's also a little bit easier, you know? So I've been doing that more often than not lately with the exclusives, or, you know, I could just wait for the US release. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. Here we have Jet Jaguar, who is one of my all-time favorite Toho robots. Love Jet Jaguar, grew up with Jet Jaguar, love this. My unboxing though, if you did see it, it was a quick unboxing earlier this week. I was a little on the fence about it because it's a little bit odd. And we're gonna go through all of that, so without any further ado, let's get to the review. Hey, real quick before we start said review, a little note about getting the stuff out of the package. There's some small parts here, okay? Especially on this side is the antenna parts. When you open this up, it's one of those that when you pop it open, everything kind of jumps. Be careful with this stuff, because during the unboxing, this jumped, this little one, and unbeknownst to me, for hours upon hours, it was not in the packaging anymore. It was on my stoop where I did my unboxing. Somehow, in the middle of the night, I was able to find it. And I found it right away, too, on my steps. And my steps are basically the same color as this, almost. So, yeah, be careful. I got lucky. But be careful with this stuff when you're opening it. And here's Jet Jaguar out of the package. And one thing to note right off the bat, this is not an SH Figuarts figure. SH Figuarts and SH MONSTERARTS, from what I know, have different design teams. So don't think SH Figuarts here when you get this figure. It's easy to do so because, you know, you kind of lump them together a lot of times, but they are different. Just something to note, because already I know folks are like, oh, you know, it's a disappointing Figuarts, or it's a Figuarts. It's not a Figuarts, it's a MONSTERARTS. So it doesn't necessarily feel like other Figuarts, although there are similarities, but there are differences, but there's things here that are, you know, totally MONSTERARTS, so it doesn't stray from what MONSTERARTS does, like covering up joints with like extra pieces and stuff. That is a MONSTERARTS design thing, an engineering thing that they like to do, and it's present in this figure, which is cool. The one thing I really want to say about this figure that is very impressive is, at least on my copy, and I don't know other copies, I really did not look at anybody else's figures or pics or whatever. Like, my paint is awesome. Like, it is pretty much 100% perfect. I really like it. In those terms, it looks fantastic. Now, the one thing I was really like off about in the unboxing, and you know, I want to, you know, put that out there once again, was the whole hip section. Not only the way it looked, but the way it kind of sits in the joints. Now, as far as the way it looks, the reason why it took me a few days pretty much, you know, I took the whole week to like just play around with this figure, to look at a lot of stills of Jet Jaguar, to look at a lot of video of Jet Jaguar, including the movie. And the hips aren't as weird now as I thought they were. He does have kind of wide hips, and you see it a lot when he walks. It's interesting. I've never noticed that. Now, on the backside, he does look like he has a lot of junk in the trunk. And you know what? He does. It is there in the movie. Like, you see this and this in the movie quite a few times. He's got a little bit of action back there. But I do think they went a little bit overboard here on the figure. That is a little bit more than it was necessary. I think they just went a little bit, a touch too much. Does it completely bother me? No, absolutely not. It's his butt. It's on the back of the figure. And again, the rest of the figure on the back is really, really nice. Let's look at it. From top to bottom, the sculpt is excellent. The paint is perfect. You know, the yellow is spot on. Like, I know there was questions about the yellow being not as orangey as in the movie, but I mean, look at the movie once again on the most clear, high resolution that you can do. It is pretty yellow, and a lot of that old film makes it look more orangey. Now, that said, there is orange in this paint as well, so it's not completely yellow. So it is there, but I think it's pretty good. Like I said, the back looks excellent. Really nice sculpt, you know, all the way to the back of the head here with the red around that. Looks really good. There's got rivets in there, which look real nice. Very, very nicely done on the back here. I love all of this. I love all of that. You know, the back of the arms look good. Yeah. You know, the butt, he has it. You know, like, not just the butt here, but like these, a little cheech on the sides. He has it. It's there. It just might be a little bit too much on this. Might be. You know, again, it depends on the angle that you're seeing it. And honestly, this figure has joints in it where you can push it in. And when you do that, everything kind of flattens out a little bit, like straightens out a little bit. And, you know, it's not as prominent as it was before. I don't think it's a problem. At first, I thought it was a problem. Like, I don't think it's an actual problem, because when you look at the proportions, and you look at proportions of Jet Jaguar in the film, which are really odd, honestly, I don't think this is far off the mark, if at all, really. It's a very interesting look. He's a very interesting robot. He's got pieces that kind of jut out all over the place. Like, it's interesting. He's got all these circular pieces. So he's got a very interesting look to begin with in the movie. So I don't think this is really, really that different. He does have some big feet, but you know, it's hard to tell. But I think that's, you know, kind of like what he's got. Like most of my other Jet Jaguar figures, I think, have pretty big feet too. So I don't mind this. I think it looks pretty good. Again, the arrows look very good. That little piece in the front is cool. Very just flat on the bottom. But all of this paint looks good. All of this Michelin Man type stuff looks pretty good here as well. Now, I gotta say, it's very, like, interesting feeling the way the legs sit in here. They're very, like, rubbery almost feeling at the knees. It gives it this weird feel that, like, these are, like, bouncy in a way, like how they look in the movie. It's a very weird thing, and until you have the figure in your hands, you really can't, like, it's hard to explain. It's very strange. It feels odd, but not crazy odd. Like, I feel like it feels right in a way, like the way they feel, like, you know, as far as, like, the way it looks to the way it feels right, if that makes sense. Then you got these knee things here, which look pretty cool. This one is, for some reason, a little bit loose on mine. while this one is a little bit tighter in. I don't know if that's just the way the knee is sitting all the way in or what, but just to note it. Then going up the legs is pretty good. The red on the sides look pretty good. Then this piece here, Krajiji piece, looks pretty good. In the unboxing, I thought it was kind of gappy when I looked at it, but I didn't have my figure like completely, you know, composed well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's that. The kind of like eagle looking thing in the middle, whatever it is, you know, his belt thing, belt buckle, I always called it, looks really good. It's got a really nice texture. Let's zoom in on that. Really nice texture to it. The blue around it looks very nice, so it's pretty good. Again, the yellow looks good. The red looks good. It's a nice dark red. I do like it. All of it. The paint is very nice. The silver here looks good with the red around here. Always loved the design of the chest, including that. I always thought it looked very, very nicely done. Yeah, it's cool. And you know what? I'm pretty sure in an older review somebody told me the symbol and stuff. I'm just forgetting. It doesn't matter. It's just, who cares? It's good. I love how the shoulders look. They look like that kind of suit feel to it. Bumpy and weird. And not really robotic, but they worked out very nice. And then his Michelin Man arms in the silver, the blue and the silver again look good. His hands look pretty good. He always has had kind of smallish hands. So I think that's pretty right in my opinion. The neck piece here, I like it a lot. It looks very nice. We saw the back part of it. And then the head sculpt is pretty cool. I do like it. You know, in some shots, Jet Jaguar looks like he has a skinnier face. In some shots, he looks like he has a little bit wider face. This figure can achieve both depending on the angle, but I do kind of feel like it's a little bit wide. But I'm not sure. It's a tough one. Like, I don't really find it, you know, off by much if it is. But I like it. I think it represents Jet Jaguar very well. The teeth look real good. The nose looks good. I love the eyes. You can see right in them. You see those, like, you know, swirly things that are very, very prominent in the, like, singular point version. And, you know, one of those things that I noticed less on the original version until later. I never really noticed that the original Jet Jaguar had that going on as well, which is cool. But I like how they achieved it here. It is a piece on the inside that you could swap out for the lighter ones when, like, he's kind of has like flashlight eyes. So we'll look at that later in the review. But I think these eyes turned out really well in the darker blue. You got some more rivets up there. You got the antenna. As you can see, you can take them out. But this is how they kind of sit there. And then there's another... Oh, where am I? There's another little piece up there that comes out for the antenna that's, you know, switches out. So, very, very cool. It's a nice head overall, you know, like... again, not sure exactly how I feel, if it's, like, a little wide or not. But I think it's sculpted well. And I think it looks the part enough, in my opinion. And that's how I feel about the whole figure as a whole. I think it looks the part. He looks pretty heroic. So, I don't know. As a big Jet Jaguar fan, I'm glad I took a few days to really look this over because I like it a lot. And, you know, had I done it right away, I feel like I wouldn't have noticed things about the original design that I did, you know, taking a few days here to really, like, look at this. You know, I didn't want to have a knee-jerk on something that I absolutely, you know, a representation of a character that I love in a line I've always wanted to see this character come out in. So I definitely wanted to look it over, and I'm glad I did. You know, and I'm glad I gave myself a few days to, like, you know, enjoy the figure and play around with it and see how I really felt about it. So I'm liking it. Personally, I'm liking it. Again, the paint is excellent. I think the sculpt is really, really nice. So your mileage is going to vary, as always. But he's doing it for me, and that's a good thing. So we did some posing at the end there. So let's do the articulation. And the head has a decent neck joint, can look up, and I'm opening up his head here. Can look down too, which is good. The upper body joint is absolutely excellent, which is great. The waist look works pretty good too. You're not gonna get like a full rotation out of it, but you get enough. And this piece is soft plastic over here, which is very, very interesting for MONSTERARTS. So that works pretty good, honestly. Then you have a butterfly joint here at the shoulder, which, you know, allows you to come across pretty good for a punch, punch, punch. And then can move outwards, can go down, all around. You have a bicep swivel in there. You have a double jointed elbow. Works okay, you know, all the covering, which again, you know, is one of the things that makes MONSTERARTS, does hinder it a bit, but it's all there, you know, like if you want the articulation, it is all there, but it's all covered up nicely, of course. Hinge swivel at the wrist. The legs do have a drop down joint, which is nice. You can go outwards on them, not all the way, and this one keeps getting jammed on me a little bit. I'm not exactly sure where it's jamming, but it's jamming going on the outside, so I don't want to, you know, force it too much, but I am jammed for some reason. I don't know if it's just bumping into this one works nicely. This side not as much for some reason. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know, discombobulated on it here. I feel like I'm gonna pull it out the more I force it. But it does have a drop down joint, and that's pretty cool. You can kick forward on it, which works. Going backwards, you can do it, you know, depending on the angle of it. There's nothing in the thigh, but you do have a double jointed knee, which is actually pretty far the way it works. If you see it in there, it works pretty good. So not bad there. You can also swivel it here, which is very nice and interesting. Really good rocker at the foot, and the hinge going back and forth is pretty good. So no toe, you know, hinge on this one. Again, it's not a Figure Arts Ultraman, so I don't completely have to expect it. But I think the articulation is pretty good. My one leg on this side, notwithstanding, for whatever reason, I can't do what I could do with the other side. I'm definitely have to investigate that and see why it's, you know, acting that way. But, you know, it's not like a deal breaker, but yeah, I definitely wanted to mention that. At least on mine, it's working a little bit odd on that side. But I think the articulation is pretty good overall. I really like the body articulation. It's really, really well done. So for accessories, first up, we get hands. Yes, we do. We get the good old thumbs up hand. I love that. We get to either karate chopping hands or flying hands, whatever you want to do. And then we get to grippy hands. No handshaking hands. So I'm going to guess if we get a Godzilla 73, we'll get it with that. And that's what I'm guessing, or either that or we're not getting a Godzilla 73. Next up, we get this absolutely tiny Jet Jaguar, I guess, to place in front of him, you know, as he's growing. I'm surprised we didn't get like a mini flying Jet Jaguar, though. But hey, if you're doing a Megalon, that's where you would put it, right? This is what I'm guessing. Shaking hands, Godzilla, flying Jet Jaguar with Megalon. I'm gonna guess that's what they're going for. But it's kind of cool. It's got some detail. It's just done in silver. But, you know, it's got detail. So, yeah, it's alright. And there it is in front of Jet Jaguar. So you can get a sense of scale there, from human size to kaiju size. We get 2 extra antenna pieces that are on sprues, just in case you lose. Like I said, very easily lose one of the antenna pieces. You have the tiny one, which is right there. which is what is in his head now. And then you have the longer one, which, you know, we're going to replace for like flying mode. So get an extra pair of, you know, his regular side antennas there. I thought these were like the flying versions, but they're just an extra pair of the other ones, just in case, again, you do lose them. And here is his center antenna, the piece that we're going to stick in his head right now. So the piece that we're talking about is right in here, and you're gonna have to pull it out, and there it is. Didn't make it fly, which is definitely a good thing, because I don't want to lose these. And now you have this piece here, and you pop that in there. Now he's got the antenna piece that sticks out. With these, all you really want to do is just kind of turn them around, I guess. So, you gotta be careful too, because it's not like the thickest plastic, so you could easily break them as you're putting them back into place. So, yeah, you know, it is what it is. That's how he looks. So, you know, he's got his antenna out. And then, you know, kind of stick his head out. And then I guess you would have to change his hands, but, you know, I'm not going to do so right now, but, you know, there you go. He always looked a little weird to me like this, but, hey. In there, I think these are supposed to go forward like this. I totally forgot about that. My natural instinct was to make the wings, like, go that way, towards the back, but it is kind of like this, where it's kind of front-facing. These are also the alternate ones because I felt like you know, they fit in better going this way. So maybe they are a little bit different. But yeah, just a little note there. Doesn't really matter. Do it however you want. Again, my instinct was to go the other way. But yeah, it looks good like this too. Lastly, we do get the lighter flashlight eyes, which look cool. See, they're a lighter blue. We do get a tool to help us take out said eyes. We're gonna have to take off his head though to do so. So it's kind of, wow, that's an interesting joint. Holy cow, I did not expect that to look like that. What the heck? That is the most interesting joint I've ever seen. Which is on a ball joint. I guess that's, maybe I didn't pull out the ball joint. Whatever. That's the part we needed anyway, right? So let's get the eyes out. Like I said, we have this little tool. Want to stick that under there. Comes out really, really easy with the tool, so very, very helpful. Just pop it out. Come on. Where did I put that tool? Now it's stuck. Okay, got it out. Where to go? I don't know, but we got it out. What's the best way to get this back in? There we go. Okay. Press that in. And then bring back Jet Jaguar. And just align it correctly. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty easy. And wow, that is cool. That's a nice difference. I like that one a lot. I mean, in lieu of like having like an LED light in this guy, which I wouldn't have minded, honestly. I think this is pretty nice. Real nice. So yeah, I dig it. I think he looks really good like this. I might just keep it like this. I don't know. That is neat. It gives a whole new dimension to the figure, having the lighter eyes. Really, really nice. I like it a lot. And for your size comparisons, first up, we have the only comparison that kind of counts right now, because we have Gigan, which is the 72, but yeah, it's pretty much the 73 too, right? And we have a Godzilla, who's also the 72, but it's, you know, it's gonna have to do for now, because we don't have a 73. Now, height-wise, this is about as high as Godzilla is to Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar is pretty tall, so it's probably a little bit off, but, like, it's not the worst. I think they pretty much meet eye to eye, and that's good. Gigan is really, really, really tall. However, he's taller than Jet Jaguar, which is good. And if you look at it from the back, which is very, very important, because one of the best comparisons that we have in the movie is of how big Gigan really is when Jet Jaguar like picks him up from the behind. And if you see this, it kind of works. Like, look how much taller Gigan is here. That works. So the one that really needs to count, I feel like, look, he's like, he's looking down on Jet Jaguar. The one that really needs to count with Gigan works. And I think this works too. Stand in for now. So that to me is awesome. And the one that I was really, really concerned about, because when I got him out of the package, I was like, wow, this Jet Jaguar is really tall. But in my head, I was just like, I think it's going to be fine, because both of these two figures, I remember thinking, wow, they're big. So I'm glad this really works. And here's another one that really works. If you have the movie Monsters series figures, Godzilla 73 here and Megalon look pretty much in scale here. Maybe Megalon might be a little short, but I don't know. I think this actually works. He's kind of looking down a little bit, so if he was looking up, I think he'd be fine, Megalon. And Godzilla is pretty good. Might be a little bit tall, but again, let's look at the eye test. They are looking at each other pretty good, so I think that works too. I like it. I think we have some winners here. And here he is with a couple of other Bandai Jet Jaguars, including the movie Monster series. Who scales pretty well with him, like the other movie Monster series stuff, and the only other Jet Jaguar in the SH MONSTERARTS series, and that is the singular point version, which I love. It's like one of my favorite figures, to be honest. So, as you can see, that one is smaller, but hey, whatevs. Jet Jaguar still approves. Let's bring in some obligatory Godzillas from some other lines, including Haya, Super 7, and a NECA. Obviously, Super 7 is too big, but Haya and, NECA, they work. NECA especially works pretty nicely, I think, with Jet Jaguar here. Haya, he's a little bit too big. It's not the same Godzilla, so, it's fine that he's a little bit bigger, right? Yeah, I mean, if you want to play around with it, definitely will work. And here he is with some Ultraman figures. As you can see, the SH Figure Arts stuff is a bit too short to go with this Jet Jaguar, as alluded to before. But the Mafex, it's okay. It's okay. The Mezco is actually really, really nice with this Jet Jaguar. Look at that. That's pretty excellent, honestly. And just a few more figures to end this off with the YMSF Green Monster, a Playmates Kong, SH Figure Arts Kaiju number 8, which is really, really tall. And the new Godzilla action figure, Godzilla 04. This looks pretty good, actually, that's not bad either, and that's pretty good. So, this obviously is too small. Like I said in this review, these guys are kind of small. And my final thoughts? Well, Jet Jaguar saying it all. Thumbs up from me. I like it. I had some reservations coming out of the package. I was a little scared. It was a little bit too big. I was a little scared of what was going on with the hips and the junk in the trunk. But you know what? I took some time and I did some research, and I feel like I'm really pretty happy with what I did get here. I like it a lot. The paint is superb. It is spot on everywhere. There's like nothing out of place, and that is awesome because there's a lot going on here. So that is really cool. I really like the eyes. Both of them look really, really good. The rest of the accessories, whatevs. I would have preferred a little flying guy instead of the thing, but I have a feeling, like I said in the review, that we're going to get those. I do like the thumbs up is good. And it's cool. It's a cool figure. Yeah, I don't know. Your mind's going to vary on how you feel about the butt. But he does have that cheech in the movie. Maybe not as prominent, but I'm digging it. I am. I feel like this is going to be one of those figures that I'm just going to be playing with like the entire year. So yeah, for me, it's a thumbs up. I do like it. I think it's pretty cool. It works for me. And you know, as a big fan, that's all I really can ask for. You know, again, your mileage is gonna vary. You know, it's all gonna depend on how you feel about the character and the figure, but I think they did a pretty good job here. Honestly, I do like it a lot. And there you go. I'm gonna keep it at that. I think it's pretty good. You know, I'm not gonna say run out and buy it, because it's, you know, here in the US, which is really like gonna be one of the only places you're gonna be able to get it from. It's $100. Is it $100 figure? For me, it is. Is it for you? I mean, I'm not gonna be spending your money, so I don't know. I can't really say it. But I do like it, and take from that what you will. I'm an old dude, and I've liked this guy for, oh my gosh, 40 plus years. So close to the age of the figure, you know, like, so that's a long time to wait for an articulated figure of Jet Jaguar, and I'm satisfied with my purchase. And there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.